All right. Oh, and let me mute the lines. Give me 1 second here. All right. Welcome to the Mastermind Call. I am so excited today because it is always so refreshing when we get to bring in a new executive. And for a while there, we were rank advancing more executives, and it was always fresh and new, and we haven't had one in a while. So today, I asked for John Raines to get on and help us welcome our newest Crystal executive, Doug Johnson. And before we do that, I just want to bring you back to why do we have this group to begin with. So when I was originally growing the business, and there was a few of us that hit executive, I remember sitting at a conference and Susan said to me, Cindy, we need to have a team culture. We need to do something to get this team, really working together and have a great team culture. And that's how the Mastermind group was born. So this group is for all of our executives. And we know there's a lot that don't get on the calls, and encourage them, guys. Just because they're not paid as executive, they should be here because we want them to be here. We want this call to be absolutely positive. Think of our HHP group. We have the admin group there. So if someone starts to talk about throwing up on a cleanse day, we don't let those posts go through because we don't want our prospects to get scared off by that. We want it to be positive. That's what this group is meant for. We're supposed to share ideas of what's working and really make this group all about growing together as a team and really creating that strong team culture so that together we can really do great things. And so over the last year, I feel like, and I'm taking full responsibility, I wanted to address some elephants in the room with the way business was last year with sales being down, cycles being down. And I think it just opened the door to some negativity. And I just noticed everyone's energy draining. And I really want to change that. So I'm making some changes to this group. And so each week, we're going to stick with our 30-minute phone call. We're going to start with announcements, but we're going to be more vision casting and talking about the opportunities. So we might share a video. We might talk about a book together. We might bring guests from corporate on. We might bring guests on that aren't executives and aren't masterminds, but are doing unbelievable things. Like Tyler has a team member who is reaching out. He's reached out to 500 strangers through Instagram. So I thought bringing him on might be something that could excite you guys, because we are the pulse of our team. This group here, you are the leaders for this whole entire team. Everybody looks up to us as their leaders. So we have to come and we have to play at 100%, and we have to have positive attitudes. We can't get sucked into negativity, gossip, anything. We really need to keep this energy, raise the energy, and keep it up. So I'm asking for all of your help with that, because we want Doug Johnson to be so fired up to be part of this group. It's not even funny. So I would like Doug to unmute his line first so we can congratulate him properly.
Thank you so much.
How does it feel to be an executive? You worked so hard to be here. We're so proud of you.
I wish it would have been as easy as, Cindy, your adventure in 10 days becoming a Crystal executive or whatever it took you. It took me 2 years. But actually, it took more like a year and a half, because I had no interest in the business at all when I started. I'm sure like many, but to your point about team, there's just no way I could have done this without the team behind me. From you to Megan to Donna to Carla to Polly to Marina to Linda Wells. I mean, there's so much support from this team. And a year ago at NYKO was my first event. And I tried to find somebody that was like me. Old, male, frustrated with weight and stuff. And I found a buddy in this group, and I hope he's on there, but Randy Whitaker, and I hooked up at NYKO, and I said, you look like me, you act like me, we're the same age, we've gone through some corporate trials and tribulations. Is this something that you can do? And he's the one that kind of put the needle in my eye and said, you can do this. It takes time, it takes energy, it takes patience, but you can do it. And then I just have to give special credit to Megan, who just would not let me not get here this past week. She said, you've got this, just do it. And it took a little canoodling around the edges and things like that. But in the end, I'm just thrilled to be here.
We're so thrilled you're here. We've watched you work so hard, and I know it takes a team to really pull something like this off. And Megan messaged me behind the scenes so many times, Doug, to look at your back office, and she was just so on top of it and wanted it so desperately for you. So that's what I love about this community and how we really rally together. And Randy was all by himself for so long, and now there's other men here for him. So we're all so happy for Randy. I mean, he probably liked his ratio a lot better a few years ago, but now he's got to share all the ladies.
I guess I'll share. It's all right. Especially when guys like Doug come in. I mean, John and Tyler, and they're the young guys. I'm not worried about them.
Oh, it's so cool.
Yeah, it's great to have you here, Doug.
Thanks, buddy.
We're so thrilled. So the other couple things we're going to do with the group, and then I'm going to turn it over to John, is we're going to do, like, if we have a member that's one of you that's doing really well in a certain area and you'd like a 10-minute time slot to share what you're doing, we're going to talk only about what's working. We're not going to talk about what's not working. If you need help, reach out to your upline, reach out to me. We'll help you with what's not working. But this group, we're only talking about what is working and what we can do to just keep raising the needle, raise the needle of belief in us, in this company, in network marketing and all of that. And then I really want this to be accountability as well. And so John is going to be our first corporate guest. We're going to try to do this at least once a month. We chatted on Friday. He's given me some great ideas on what I can do to make this group even better than what it's been before. John, I love you, and I'm so grateful that you came here. We all love you, and we're excited to hear from you, where the company is, where it's going, and thank you.
Cindy, I love you too. You are absolutely amazing. Like I've told everyone, I've got a special place in my heart for Cindy. She was one of the first associates that I met, and she was so kind and nice to me and had no reason to. It's just the way she treats perfect strangers is just with such kindness and love. So I've got so much love for you, Cindy. Doug, I've got to say, I'm so proud of you. This is a huge achievement, massive achievement to hit this level. And I'm going to challenge you and others to continue to hit this level. There's an important reason why executive is such an essential part of this business. And we all know that you're having 10 active consultants, right? When you first hit it, 5 and 5 on either side, you've got 10 active consultants, right? And this is really important because if you're doing this and you're hitting paid as executive every single week, it means you're growing. Because we know there are people who are going to, as consultants, drop off, right? So if you're hitting executive again and again and again, it means you are continually working and doing the things that builds the business ongoing. That's not just something like I've hit it, I'm good to go. When you hit it over and over and over again every single week, you have so much access to so much more compensation. Plus, it's an indicator that you are engaged in building the business every single day, right? So if there was one thing, I mean, obviously we talk about the leader in action formula, right? We talk about that, that's important, but I have to help you to understand, if you're hitting executive ongoing, you're every single week hitting paid as executive over and over and over again, it's going to lead into so much more compensation and growth for you, which will help, for instance, the leader in action formula, right? So as a kind of a basis of growth, it's this, and you've done it, you've made it to this point, and I challenge you to keep going. So everyone in the chat lines, show him massive love. I know you have already. Show him some more love because this is a huge achievement. And anytime anyone hits it in this group, they should be able to come in here and feel like they have joined a phenomenal group and done some phenomenal things and had tons of love. So, Doug, you're awesome. Way to go.
Thank you, John.
Now, what I wanted to talk about on this call, I wanted to talk about where the company is and where the company is going, okay? And let's just talk about what's been happening the past year. And I'll tell you why it's been happening and where we're going. Just to be, completely transparent, because I can't be anything but completely transparent. I want everyone to understand that this business is different than other businesses. It's very different than other businesses, right? This business is not like Procter & Gamble, a Johnson & Johnson, or a Unilever, right? Where they just create a product, create a commercial, and put it on the shelves. And then a few guys make the money, right? You've got a few stockholders that make money, and you've got the advertising people on Fifth Avenue who are making the money, right? It's different. What happens with this business is people are able to take a portion of the money that's earned by the company by doing the advertising, right? So instead of paying a few people to do all of that. We compensate you for sharing it. That's the marketing model, which is a little different, right? It's a little different. So one thing that we do here is we're constantly studying, and there's something that's really important that you have to understand about what makes a company grow in our industry, and you have to study the laws of virality. What makes something go viral? What makes something blow up and get huge, right? Now, think about something that's gone huge recently. It doesn't have to be in our industry. It doesn't have to be a company even. It can be a meme that's really taken off recently that you think is hilarious, or a video on YouTube that's taken off and you think is very cool or hilarious, or it brings a tear to your eye. Now, the laws of virality state, and this is the most important law of virality, is that when you share something, you are more willing to share something that gives you some level of status when you share it. Now think about that. It gives you some level of status when you share it, okay? If I share a funny video on YouTube, I'm sharing it with you because I want you to experience something that's hilarious, but also I want you to know I'm connected. I'm seeing the cool things before they're cool, right? Now think about that and how it applies to our business. Everything that we share, we need to share in a way that when other people share it, it gives them status. What do you think our before and afters are so impactful? It's because you can show someone a before and after and they say, oh, wow, you're connected to something really cool. That's awesome. I want to do that, right? Or our products. If you've got a special love for Ionics and you share a story about Ionics, that it's your mama fuel, right? Whatever it might be, your Wonder Woman juice, any of that, it gives you some level of status by sharing it, okay? Which is different than the normal Johnson & Johnson, Procter & Gamble, where they're just putting up an advertisement, all right? So does everyone understand that? Now, it's not vanity. It's not that people have to be seen. It's we like to share things that make us look cool for knowing them. And there's nothing wrong with that. But let's talk about how it applies to our industry. So because we're different than Johnson & Johnson, Procter & Gamble, and all those different types of companies, everything that we have to do, everything that we create is in itself a sales tool. Every single product, every single email, everything we do has to be a sales tool that makes you look good if you were to share it. When they are having an experience with our customer service department down to their very first cleanse day, we want them to have a good experience, right? Because that reflects on you, okay? So let me talk about where we've been. Now, we used to have a marketing VP who came from the Procter & Gamble, Johnson & Johnson background. And to be quite honest, she didn't necessarily understand the way that business is done here. The way that everything that we create reflects on your reputation, reflects on something that you want to share, has to be something that's cool enough that it reflects on, that it gives you status by sharing it. Does that make sense? So there were some issues with that. And I think you clearly can see there were some issues with that. But we've made some massive changes. We've recently hired a new senior vice president of marketing who not only has a background in the Johnson & Johnson model, but also has a background in network marketing and has been a part of a company that's gone well over $1 billion. Her insights are different than the insights that we've had before. And so I'm very hopeful and very excited about the things that we have coming forward, because the things that we're doing now and the things that we're preparing are all things that if you were to share with your people, they would want to share with their people, and they would want to share with the people that they know, and they would want to share with the people that they know, because it shows that they're connected to something cool, something noteworthy, and something that is a competitive advantage in the marketplace. Does that make sense? So when you look at the laws of virality, what goes viral, what moves, and what people want to talk about, it comes back to sharing something that will give them status by sharing it. And our entire focus has shifted away from we just produce products to we produce something that gives you something that you can share, that will be shared, that will be shared, that will be shared. And it's a big shift. So that's the idea of where the shifts have been currently. Now, you're not seeing all of those yet, because to do that, it takes some time. The thing that we're all talking about right now, which undergirds all of that, is innovation. We have been working on extremely innovative products and extremely innovative new approaches to products that have not really been seen before in the industry. And again, it takes a little bit of time to put something out there that's highly innovative, but these are things that you are going to be proud to share. These are things that your people are going to be proud to share. And these are the things that they're going to have such phenomenal experiences with that they can't wait to share with other people what's going on with Isagenix. So that is our shift. I want you to understand our major focus internally is innovation. That's what we talk about all the time. How can we do things better? How can we do things differently? And how can we stand out? So every single thing that we create, from a product to an email to a call, is in itself a sales tool that makes you look good at every single part of your business. So that's really where we're going. It's where we've come from. And I hope you understand that while that is where we've come from and we've had some challenges, I don't feel like it's been any big issue in that it would keep us from growing forward. We learned some things internally. And I think also as field leaders, we all learn some things, right? Oftentimes, it's easy to say, I've got a big group, so I'm going to now manage that group. But we all know that your group will only do a very small portion of what you're doing. It's true. They will watch to see what you do. They will not listen to what you're saying. They will watch to see what you are actually doing. So if you were to take that, you're supposed to create the fire, right? In your business, you do that by being in action, doing the do day in, day out. Now, one thing I love about Emily Vavra, which is absolutely amazing, is obviously she's making almost $2 million a year, and she is still doing launch parties. She is still meeting with people at coffee shops. She has not outgrown anything. She is still doing the very basic do that everyone does when they get started. She keeps doing the same thing, right? So guess what her team does? They keep doing the same thing because she's doing it. They don't think, okay, well, Emily's gone into management mode, so maybe I should go into management mode. They look at it and say, I can't go into management mode. I've got my leader is in action. She's doing things just like your leader, Cindy, is in action all the time, making things happen. So lead out by your actions, right? And don't be afraid to show people your actions. You should be putting it on Instagram. You should be putting it on Facebook. When you break a new consultant, when you're talking to people, when you're having coffee meetings, when you're doing launch parties, show your team what you're doing. Let them know. Not only is it recognition for the new person or the new group that's beginning, but also it's showing your team that you're in action. You're doing it, okay? So it's really important then that as you're building your business, that you're in action. You're doing the very basic do over and over and over again. That's what's going to create the success and the freedom that you really want. And remember, as you're sharing things, share them in a way that gives the other person status if they were to share it, right? So think about that. As you're doing things, share it in a way that makes them think, this is cool. This is surprising. I really like this. Because then they're willing to share it with other people because it'll make those people say, this is cool. This is surprising. This is something I should share. So I wanted to share with you what's happening really within corporate, what our focus is, and where we're going. And I have to tell you, the amount of investment that's going into the innovation is phenomenal. And in the next few weeks, and of course at Celebration, you're going to see just a portion of what's planned, and it is already very, very exciting. So that's what I wanted to discuss when it comes to where we were at, where we're going, and really what gets me excited about Isagenix.
That's great. All right, so we know there's some things, we know about this special promotion, the things that were in the 8-star group. Would you be the one to introduce to the team the couple of things coming up that we're allowed to talk about? So we've got,
do you mean the free membership that we've got?
Well, they know about that, I think, but go ahead and repeat that one.
Yes, so free membership. Now what they're doing is normally it's 150 BV, which is big. But what they're doing is it's $149. Okay. So the reason why they're doing $149 is that the associates, the customers, the people who are getting started rather, don't really think in BV. It takes some time to get used to thinking in BV. So it's $149 for free membership, which is big. And then on top of that, we've got free shipping at $300. So if their initial order is $300 or more, it's free shipping is included. So someone, by getting started with a normal pack, weight loss pack, weight loss value pack rather, that they will be able to get free shipping and free membership, which is phenomenal. It's a big win.
All right. I'm private messaging you. I think we can talk about this. Can you just look in the chat? Aren't we allowed to?
I think you can at this point.
Okay.
Yeah, if that's okay. And I
Yeah,
apologize.
it was in there, so I thought we were free to talk about it. So you guys, ISA delivery was a huge, huge, huge thing for the company, and they've been doing their research after they did their 6-month test and found it did really work to increase BV and all of that. So it's going to be coming back newer and improved, and I don't know the new and improved, so I don't know that you can tell us that, but just want you guys to know it's coming back new and improved. And I think the date on that was April 22nd. And then they're going to be doing a permanent, with a $300 spend, permanent free shipping, which is amazing. So I think that's exciting. And then I haven't gotten to try or hear much about the Tri-Release protein that was announced in Canada, but it'll be coming here. Do you know anything about that, John, that you can share?
Yeah, that one is amazing. I have to tell you, so they gave us a canister that we could try, and it tastes like chocolate milk. It literally tastes like chocolate milk. I brought it home for my family and my boys. It was gone in like less than a week, and it's a big canister. But what's cool about it is it's called Tri-Release. I prefer to consider it time release, okay? Because what it is it's different types of protein that are in there that are slower metabolizing or faster metabolizing. So after someone works out, or even just you want to extend how full you feel with your protein, there's some that'll burn quickly and re-energize the body with the protein that it needs, and then some that will release almost a little bit later, so it lasts longer throughout your day. So if you find that people are getting really hungry after just an hour or two, adding some of this into their normal isolane shake will help. And then also post-workout, it's phenomenal. There's also a ingredient in it, and I can't believe I forgot the name of it. It starts with a V. Velocitol, I think is what it's called, Velocitol. This actually helps. It's the mechanism that helps with protein synthesis, so repairing your body, okay? And I was able to use this myself, and I was able to heal so much quicker after my workouts. My son, who would have big, long football practices, after he came back and used it, he was able to heal much more quickly. So if you have people who are just starting to go to the gym, they have to use this. They have to use it because they're going to say, oh, that was not as horrible as I thought. That was not as difficult as I thought, right? Because they're going to be healing much more quickly. And of course, people who are already they love the gym, they love working out, they're going to feel better. So people who want to extend how long the protein is in their system and how good they feel, this is a phenomenal product for that, even if they're not going to the gym. And then people who are going to the gym, this is going to be a game changer. And of course, tasting like chocolate milk, it's a big win.
That's awesome. And do we have an idea? Will we get it before celebration? Do we know?
I'm not sure. Currently, they wanted to get it as soon as possible in the U.S., but I know that they've got a few things that they're working out, a few kind of last-minute kinks that they're working out. So they don't have a date yet on it. I think the latest it would be like celebration, but if they can get it out sooner, they will. From what I had heard, it sold out really, really quickly at Canada Celebration. So they, of course, want to make it available to everybody as soon as possible.
Sure. And then last announcement that I know of is Isogenesis is finally back on the 12th, correct?
Yep.
Yeah.
Finally. We're very excited about that. I almost ran out.
I didn't. I mean, I always, that's one thing. We always have an extra box or two of vitamins here. So we didn't, knock on wood, but I know so many people did, and they've been waiting and waiting so patiently. So awesome. All right. Anything else you want to share? I know your time is precious before I let you go.
Well, I just want everyone to know that what we have ahead of us is greater than what's been behind us. We've had phenomenal success. We've had years of insane growth. And I have to tell you, we've been resetting ourselves in a big way to push forward for new growth. Now, Isagenix doesn't think about, we want to hit $1 billion. We think about it, but that's not our goal. Our goal is not $2 billion. Our goal is to be the largest health and wellness company in the world. And so the foundations that we're putting in are what will help us to be that. So being a part of Isagenix and growing with Isagenix, we've got the best years ahead of us.
That's awesome. And you're going to be in Vegas for ICU?
I'll be in Atlantic City.
Oh, yay. Most of this team is East Coast. We've got some that are going to Vegas, but great. That's awesome.
Right on.
Awesome. All right. Couple quick questions. Lisa already answered, is the new protein replacing IsoPro? So I guess we'll need some training on when to use either and what's more appropriate, but it's not replacing IsoPro.
No, it doesn't. It won't replace Isopro. Isopro is of course just really phenomenal protein that you can get. Power pack protein. This one is a time release. So this one is, if you're using Isopro, you're currently using it in your shakes, or you're using it for instance, for the bedtime belly buster. That's what you would use. If you want to extend the protein in your system for longer, then you're going to use the tri release.
Okay. And then someone else asked, how does it work with our Recover? Since it helps recover, would you need still the Recover product with it?
You would, yeah. They have different mechanisms in the body. The Velocitol is helping, of course, with the helping your muscles heal faster. But if you also add Recover to that, it's going to be even more effective in your recovery process.
Okay, awesome. Thank you. Thank you for the high level excitement of all the announcements, and thank you for being here with us. And I've got just one more thing I'm sharing. So John, if you need to hop off, feel free to. But you guys give it up for John coming here and being with us today.
You guys are awesome. Thank you much.
Thank you, John.
All right, guys, last thing I wanted to share with you is, two things. You can't see her because I think she's off camera, but a welcome back to Maria Carlone, Reniker. She was an executive with us a while ago. There she is. And I took her out of this group because she really wasn't working the business for a few years. And she is a full-time personal trainer. She's a professional fitness pro. And she has never let her account go. She has stayed active and on auto ship for years. And her husband went through chiropractic school and introduced Isagenix into his office several months ago now. And they together have been so fired up. So they're going for the Crystal Executive Reset again to get her back to paid as executive. And she's going to try to get on. She works on Mondays, very much like Dana. So Dana's been able to try to sneak home and get on calls, and then she goes back to work again for the afternoon. So Maria's going to try to be with us. But Maria, I don't know if you're able to unmute for a second. We just want to welcome you back to the group. We're so excited you're here.
There, I think I'm unmuted.
You are.
I'm happy to be here.
And if you would just share one thing with the group. I love your attitude of how far away you were from 10 consultants to earn this extra $3,000 for you and Brandon, and your attitude of making it happen by Sunday. Could you just share a little bit, why are you so fired up about it, and why do you have this attitude, you and Brandon?
Well, part of it's probably just part of my personality because I'm extremely competitive with myself. So it's kind of like one of those challenges. And so I just decided we're going to give it all we've got, because if you put it all out on the table, I'm not sad. If it doesn't happen, and if it doesn't happen, it will happen. So I'm not going to freak out about it. But I've just been really consistent with, especially getting back to newly enrolled. I contact them like 1 week before their auto ship happens to help them decide what they need, make sure everything's okay in their back office, and try to keep them all fired up. And then I have some clients that have been enrolling that are just happy as can be because they're seeing like $200, $300, $400 on their cards. And so that's got me fired up to help them as well. And I just love I love the atmosphere. I love all the people that are in Isagenix. I think it's such a positive group to be a part of in general. And it's helping me otherwise too. I don't want to go to that, but emotionally, mentally, it's just really helping me be around a lot of positive people. So I think that's a lot
great.
Going on.
That's great. Well, we're so excited to have you back and have your energy and your positive attitude and your I will make it happen attitude. I absolutely love. We just talked about that on our coaching call before this call, that is half the battle, having the attitude of I'm going to make it happen. So tonight's team call, at 8:30. I'm not even sure who's on the corporate call, so if anyone's seen that in the 8-star group, if you guys want to let us know, either unmute or type in the chat. I'm not sure who's on, but our team call tonight, Julie Urovic, who's one of my favorite top leaders in the company, she makes things happen too, and she is known as the leader in action queen, and corporate loves her training on that. She talked a tiny bit about that. We pre-recorded I think about 15-minute training, and I'm going to be showing it on the team call tonight, talking about how last minute we can be enrolling and creating consultants this week, so that people, even if they're far, far away from the Rapid Crystal Reset, go for it this week. So we're super excited. And then we're going to be bringing on Jackie Proctor, who just rank advanced 3 consultants last week and who is going for it. And she still needs 5, is it, Jackie, or 4? 5? Okay, but she's got the attitude, I'm going for it. And if she doesn't hit it, she might be a little bummed out, but she's not, she's leaving it, you know, she's putting it all out there. So hop on the team call tonight and you know, get to hear from Julie and get to hear from our own Jackie. And then keep in mind, guys, be in touch with me with any ideas you have on how to make this group better. If you have any ideas about different books that you think we could, you know, read together, even if you already have the book, maybe we can talk about it a little bit on the call, videos that we can share. But I really want to shift the momentum from where it was to really being forward focused and really taking advantage of all that we have available to us in this amazing company, because we all have this precious gift, and we know Isagenix is getting ready for their second wave of momentum, and we're going to be the ones that get to ride it out together. So again, Doug, welcome. Maria, welcome back. Glad to have you two with us. And thank you guys so much. Any questions before we end?
Cindy, can you send me the link for tonight's meeting?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Okay, because I'll be finishing my class and I'll probably have like a 15-minute window. I can jump in the truck and get it on and just listen while I drive.
You got it.
Cindy, did you fix the link for the Eventbrite?
Not yet. I've been on calls all morning, but thank you for bringing it to my attention. Rhonda did too, and I will take care of it. I don't know why that would have happened, but
it's all right. It's good to have a freak out.
Yeah, so everybody thinks the team party sold out. We're still trying to behind the scenes firm it up because location-wise we might be shifting, so that's not even 100% done yet. So I'm on top of it. I will fix that, and we're not sold out, so we're good.
Cindy, another question. The shipping that they're going to do, is that started now or?
April 22nd.
Okay.
Yep, so they'll announce it, and I was hoping he would give us a little teaser on how it's new and improved, but that's all right. It's so exciting it's coming back. So I know it saved us a ton of money. I did it on a couple of our accounts, and that was so awesome to have. So awesome.
Just one other question.
Yeah.
We didn't get it into John fast enough, but is there any chance they're going to change ICU locations next year instead of just having the 2?
I know that is a question I have. I will reach out to him about that, Randy, and I'll let you guys know.
Well, not locations, but multiple dates.
Multiple dates.
Yeah, see what their plan is for next year, because I think a lot of people have been complaining. They've had prior plans, and I know our attendance has gone up, but it's not where it should be. So yeah.
Right. Okay, thanks.
And then Lisa, did you figure out who was on the call? I see you're unmuted.
Oh, it was already answered. They typed quicker than I could, so I deleted mine. Kelly beat me to it.
Okay. Sydney, is it Leach?
It's Lynch, I think.
Okay. Shannon Miller and Renee, I'm not even going to try, are on the corporate call tonight.
And your call's starting right at 8:30, regardless if the corporate call goes over, because we missed 15 minutes last week. Because
they're supposed to be done at 8:30. So let me message John on that too. Like you see in the group, Kathy Savage is like, you've got to be done at 8:30.
I know, but last week, of course, they went over, and so I assumed yours was starting right after. So when I hopped on, there were already like 25 people on the call. So
yeah. Let's see. I mean, I could wait till it's over to.
I mean, whatever. I'll just hang up. If they run late, I'll just get off. I just wanted to make sure. So
I think not everyone on our team that is on Cindy's call is getting on the Isagenix call. So it's not like we'd all say, okay, this is over. Let's hop over to the next one. So it's kind of probably hard, right?
Yeah, and so I thought, and they're always recorded, so I figured if people had to miss a couple minutes, but I'll just send him a message too.
Well, they're going to be ending anyway, right? Isn't there only 2 weeks left of those? Oh no,
this is the last week for the 90-day action plan. This is it. So I would assume that's going to be.
I thought there was one more. I thought there was one. I thought it went to the. I thought it went. I have it as my cover photo in my. I thought they went a couple more weeks. Maybe I'm wrong.
They could.
Okay.
And then we'll probably shift back to 8 o'clock for our team calls once they're all done, and we don't have to compete with that anymore. So
Cindy,
awesome.
Are we allowed to tell our consultants about the ICE delivery program yet, or just not?
Yeah, that's public knowledge now that it's coming. We just don't know details. So
Right.
all we can do is get people fired up that it's coming back, and we'll give them details as soon as we know.
Thank you.
Yes. All right, guys. Well, thank you for your great attendance today and being here to welcome our newest Crystal executive back, and for showing up for John Raines. Keep in mind, give me your ideas on who I can have as guests. From corporate, anyone else that you think on your team is doing a really great job with something, and you want to give me their name that I can follow up with them and see if I can bring them on. Anything like that, please get that information to me so we can just keep making this group bigger and better and more awesome. All right. Love you guys. Have a great week.